Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equity Story. And just to say, obviously, this is just general share advice and not personal advice. And tonight at 7 o'clock, we do have live. So please, if you've got any questions, come on board. Um, Wolf, I think we're gonna, there's not much news that really interests us today, or news where we think, or stocks that we're interested in buying on the news. But certainly, Wolf, our market is holding up and nearing record highs. And this is largely pushed by the commodity plays, and we're such a commodity country. Who would have thought, really, the whole world today is really benefiting, and this high inflation, the war in Ukraine is benefiting a lot of our commodity companies, and really, we're having a mini boom in this section.
Yeah, I mean, look, this whole you can see the last 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks even, it's all to do with the commodity drive, and that's when the war started. So you can see the war has definitely had a major impact on our markets here in Australia in a positive way, which is unfortunate, but that's the correlation we've got with what's happening in Ukraine.
No, Wolf, and again, what you heard overnight is Biden calling out Putin as a war criminal. Needs to. There was terrible things happening in Ukraine by the Russian army. By if you what you see on the press, pretty upsetting. What they're saying now is increased sanctions, increased um, embargoes against Russian exports. So you just see this inflation, increased inflation problem getting even bigger, Wolf. You just see commodities just being stronger for longer, and it's looking like there could be we could have a we could, I hate to think of it, but we could have potentially a bit of a World War One situation in the Donbass with both sides dug in, and and this war going on for a lot longer than everyone thought about, Wolf.
Yeah, look, it's certainly looking that way, isn't it? So it's turning into a long drawn out affair. But by if you look at where Russia is at, where Ukraine's at, I presume that Ukraine wants to end this quickly, but Russia has probably got other ideas.
Wolf, just having a quick look around the traps. Obviously, good to see some of the buy signals going through WCN, XTC. Pretty sort of nothing special stories. I mean, lift your stop loss. Just make sure you're happy to make 7 or 8% if you get a nice little move on a buy signal. But again, Wolfie, I've got to say, sort of the materials. It's all about at the moment these energy sections, and you can see ORG, which we like. We talked about it last week, going up and looking very nice on the charts at the moment. But Wolf, it's the material sections, isn't it? Look at Min, which is a hot stock. S32 looking good this week. FMG looking very good. You've got obviously LYC that had a nice move up yesterday, but still looking good. A little bit of profit taking today on some of them, but PLS looking good. Eluka that had that massive move up yesterday, and we suggested if you can buy some under 12, give it a go. AKE is still going on. The lithium story is still going very strong. We got TLG, INR. Look at this lithium story for a comeback, Wolf. Now,
Yeah.
but look, I mean, unbelievable stuff. Some of the smaller ones we've got here: ARU, SVM, LK, GME, and Wolf. This has been the story of Einstein's. I can go back now a few weeks. This has been the story. Simply, basically, all the time, every week. It's these the same stories. Bang, A key again, CRN, EMR. This is the story. Einstein's, FFX, MNS. Every single week, we're COB, GLN, SYA. It's literally IXR,
Mm.
INF, TMT. These are from a few weeks ago. I mean, I'm sure EUR, NXM. I mean, they can't all be great stories, Wolf. It's just picking the FOMO is certainly there in these stories, right? PAM hasn't done much, but KP2 again looking very good. And again, if you go back another say 3 weeks, it's the same old story with all these stories. CXL still going, LPI. Look at the SFX, bang! Look at how good that looks. ABX, bang! IPL. You know, there is such a. It's just interesting. SGM, SPQ, SLR. Some of the now interesting, Wolf. This I'll talk about this in a second about the gold plays, but JRV looking good. A4N looking good. ARU. Stock after stock. There's a little gold play. It's still not looking too bad. FFX. Again, going through CAI, NMT, GLN, LKE. It's week after week, Wolf. And I'm not going to go. These materials stocks picking these bullish trends is that they're just going absolutely crazy. So you know, you're a short term. Say if you're a short term trader, this is a section you're looking at, isn't it? These are the sort of the buy signals on these rare earths and coal plays and lithium plays, the bullish signals on these lithium plays and coal stocks, food plays. This is where it's all at. This is where it's happening.
Yep. No, look, it's an ongoing theme, isn't it? So you can see it week after week, the same thing. So we're still gonna play that space for the moment.
Wolf, apart from obviously this space, and we talked about you know, which are the war stocks, these commodity plays, and we've got a number of them which we tend to focus on a little bit more than the others. I say it's a horrible word to say blue chip war plays, but you've obviously got your Woodsides, your Origins, your Santoses, your GNCs, your Elders, your S32s, your BHPs, your Coals, these sort of stories, right? Are there any other sort of sectors which you'd be concentrating on?
Yes. Funnily enough, tech stories, because some of them are starting to look like, you know, especially when you look at the American tech space, it's starting to each would, you know, start to go up from the bottom. So we know that the big stocks in America, the tech stocks, are starting to go up very well. We've already put on a couple. OCL, right? It's still looking pretty good. It's crossed over. DSC, sorry, from last week. They started to look better. So I'm starting to watch some of these tech stocks that are still head ups, like you said. NXT is another one, absolutely, Dave. And I'm interested, Dave. It's starting to look, you know, I'm starting to nibble on some of these things. So we also have to look at the opposite side of the war stories, and that's the stuff that's been absolutely smashed, but it's now looking to a little bit better. So from that point of view, I'm flying through these stories. I'm seeing, you know, what else is out there that's starting to look interesting. You know, even good old Zero is starting to look a bit better, right? It's not there yet, but it's getting there. Another one that I'm liking that looked actually much better today was PEXA. Look at PEXA, which is PXA, and you know, that sort of stuff. It's starting to get out there where you start to yourself. I should have maybe a nibble or two on some of these stories. So,
Wolf, you're saying that the quality tech stocks,
the quality stuff, they're probably the ones that've got, you know, probably not loss making, or close to cash flow positive, and they've got a very good story to tell. So things like Whisper, it's getting back up there, right? It's a little bit early for those stories yet, but some of the really quality stuff that possibly are profitable, that are still growing, that's what's starting to look good on the charts.
And again, another one, I suppose, Altium starting to get back over trend, which is good to see.
Yeah. So while I'm still playing the resource space, I'm certainly having a look at these sort of stories as well. Where's the next one that I can maybe have a little nibble at?
Brilliant, Wolf. And again, you're seeing in America these sort of the Amazons and the Googles just holding up really well, and the Apples.
Well, let's have a look at a couple in America. Let's look at, first of all, Twitter, which yesterday Musk said he picked up 10% in, right? Which is a very interesting move. And I think what his strategy here is maybe to take control over Twitter and let's Trump back on.
All right. What is
WTR, I think. TWTR. Yeah. Let's have a look at that. What's done yesterday? Oh, look at that.
Definitely. Hello, we're back, isn't it?
So that was just Musk, right? Getting a 10% stake. So maybe that's just got to wait till the end of the week to see what actually happens. Can it sustain that? But what about let's have a look at Square. I mean, another one that's been going up and up and up is a recovery deal. not quite there yet, but it's, it's against almost starting to poke its little head up, isn't it?
Yeah, they're definitely, you're definitely seeing some of these tech stocks looking a little bit better, and we've got to look at some. Let's have a look at D-Dog. D-Dog isn't looking too bad. I think
Yep.
Zoom, Crowd is come back already, Wolf.
Yep.
So again, I think Team is starting to come back.
Yeah.
It's starting to break up. It just needs another week to
Yeah.
get back above trend.
Oh,
Um,
all there, Dave, aren't we? I mean, when you look at it, and I think the market's just, if you look at the overall picture, what's happening, right? I think the market's getting comfortable what's going on around here. We know that we had a big sell-off in the tech space, too expensive, interest rates rising, right? So there had to be a re-rate of stuff, and there has been. But the market's starting going back, okay, well, there's been oversold. There's probably some stories that are maybe way overdone. We're getting back into some of these stories back in. So here we go. And this is where we have to pick the right stories for ourselves to get into.
Wolf, the American market's being helped a lot by a lot of money coming out of Europe at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other thing that the war's done. A lot of money, a lot of investments in Europe are coming out of Europe pretty hard and going across the channel into
Yeah.
America.
Yeah. Plus, Dave, the other very, very positive thing for the tech stocks is really inflation doesn't possibly not as a big impact because there's no goods movement, so to speak, right? It's all in the cloud. So if there's going to be any inflation, it's probably going to be staff inflation more than anything else, right? Wages. So from that point of view, they also have very good positioning for that sort of space. That's why maybe some of these tech stocks are looking much, much better.
Okay, Wolf. On that note, it's really just a little bit of a conversation today. There's nothing that we really saw that we got totally excited. A little bit of a conversation, really just to say, focus on these areas. Look at the ones that were putting out on Einstein's in these areas. Look at a few of these tech stocks and keep an eye out for those recommendations in this area that we're going to put on.
100%.
On that note, Wolfie, listen, thank you very much. We got a busy night tonight, so go to bed.
See ya, guys.
See you. Bye. Bye.